Hey everybody, I'm back. So I got my papers. These are the papers that I gave you in class today. Yeah? These are the Sanskrit little words that I asked you to find in the glossary that I gave you. So, and I'm also going to go over our sequence for the modified primary in Sanskrit so that you can repeat it and that you can remember it because it is a sequence and it is in order. We don't mess around with this order. Okay? Anyway, here we go. So please go take out this sheet. We're going to study together. Yeah? Because there might be some of these words that I put on here that aren't in this glossary. And, I didn't want to have, you have to Google something. Right? So here we go. Adho. Repeat after me every time I say the words. I'll repeat them twice. Adho. Adho means downward. Downward. Anga. Anga means limb. Arda. Arda means half. Asana. Asana. Now we know that word to mean posture. But in the Rig Vedas or in the Vedic text, the word asana never really appeared. The word that did appear was as or asandi. And that really means seat, comfortable seat, or to be. So we need to be in a comfortable position in our asanas. Yes? Cool. Baba. Baba. Father. Bada. Bada. Bound. Bujanga. Bujanga. Serpent or cobra specifically. Bhakti. Bhakti. Bhakti is one of the paths of yoga. This yoga is a devotional path. These bhaktas are very flamboyant, emotional. They love their deity so much. They are outpouring with love. Bhaktas are just loving the deity. They want to be the deity. Yeah? So they have a personification in their yoga. Danda. Danda. Danda means staff or stick. Chandra. Chandra. Chandra means moon. Chakra. Chakra. Chakra is a vortex. It's a wheel of energy. Garuda. Garuda. Garuda is eagle. Go. Go. Cow. Guru. Guru. Guru dispels the darkness. He who takes one from the dark place into the light space. Right? He who takes the heaviness from your soul. Hala. Hala. Plow. Hasta. Hasta. Hand. Ida. Ida. Ida is referring to the nadis, right? And in the nadis, we have the right, the middle, and the left side. Janu. Janu. Knee. Japa. Japa. Japa means chant or mantra. Ji. Ji is your soul. Kapota. Tapota, pigeon. Karna, karna, ears. Kona, kona, angle. So I'm done with the first page. Are you? Because I finished all those on the first page. Kriya, kriya. Kriya is a purifying ritual, yes? Kundalini, kundalini. Kundalini is the energy that runs up and through the spine. Kurma, kurma, tortoise. Maha, maha, great. Mala, mala, beads. Mantra, mantra. Mantras is a word or a sound or a seed sound that you repeat constantly. In the times of the guru, even up to recently, maybe until the 70s, your guru would give you your mantra in secret, and no one else knew your mantra. Nowadays, people will find a mantra that they relate to, yes? Let's say you can relate to the word Rama or Krishna, and this becomes your mantra every day. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And so when you're walking or when you're performing your household duties, you're repeating this word over and over again, and that mantra gives you energy, a vibration throughout the whole body. Marichi. Marichi. Marichi is the sage. Matsyendra. Matsyendra. It's the lord of the fishes. Nadi. Nadi. Nadis are little rivers or channels. We can also think of them like in Chinese medicine, they have the meridians. In yoga, we have nadis. They're little rivers that flow through the body. This is when we talk about subtle energies, when we talk about chakras, subtle energies. Ida, Pingala, Shushumna, Nadi. Namaskar. Namaskar. Salutation or greeting. Nav. Nav. Boat. Pada. Pada. Feet. Padma. Padma. Lotus. Pad angusta. Pad angusta. Big toe. Parivrita. Parivrita. To revolve. Parsva. Parsva. Parsva means side, as in Parsva Konasana. We're talking about a side angle. Prasarita. Prasarita. Separate. Raja. Raja. Now, Raja could mean one of the paths of yoga, but it means really royal, or something that is royal, of royalty, right? Raja, Raj, Raja. We use it a lot in yoga terms, right? Sadhana. Sadhana. Sadhana is your daily discipline. Salaba, salaba, locust. Sarvanga, sarvanga, all limbs up, the precursor for shoulder stand. Satsang, satsang means gathering together in truth, gathering together to speak truths, to figure out what's going on, what is the truth, right? Saba, saba, corpse. Setu, setu is bridge. Shri, Shri, Mr. Sukha, Sukha, good space, good things, joy, ease, comfort. Supta, Supta, reclined. Shushumna, Shushumna. We talk about Shushumna when we're talking about Kundalini or the chakras or subtle energy. Shushumna is the silver cord that runs through our spine. It's not our spinal cord. It's a vortex of energy that's going up through our spine. Svana, Svana, dog. Tada, Tada, mountain. Tapas, Tapas, heat, discipline, austerity. Trikona, Trikona. We could also break this word down. Tri, three. Kona, angle, three angles. It's a triangle. Trikona, triangle. Urdhva, Urdhva, upward. Utthita, Utthita, extended. Ujjayi, Ujjayi, victorious. Upavista, Upavista, it's a seated angle posture, seated angle. Ustra, Ustra, camel. Uttan, Uttan, forward. Utkata, Utkata, fierce. Vira or Vibhadra, warrior. Virkska, Virkska, tree. Yoga, union. Siddhas, Siddhas. Siddhas are yogis that have achieved this magical spiritual power within them. They have transcended, and they are magical in essence. Yes, they can do extraordinary things. Sangha, Sangha, your community. I'm on the third page. Dukkha, Dukkha, not so good space. We talked about this in class. It's the opposite of Sukha, right? Sukha being good space, easeful, comfort, joy, wonderful. Dukkha being suffering, not such a great space, right? Discomfort, pain. Sukha, easeful. Devi, Devi, goddess. Atman, Atman, your soul. Nada. Nada. Sound. Eka. Eka. One. Guru. Guru. He who dispels one from the dark place. Dvi. Dvi. Two. Good. So, this list is going to help you figure out your asana. Right? So, if you haven't noticed already, I could put these words together, something like bhujanga. If I add asana to that word, it's bhujangasana, cobra posture. Right? So I made this little list because it's very relevant to your training and the postures that we're using. Okay? So the glossary that you have in your white book, right? That's a great glossary. Please glance over it. On your exam at the end of our training, there are going to be Sanskrit words. You need to know them. All right? So what I want to do right now also is go over the sequence for our modified primary. And I will be doing it in Sanskrit and in English so you understand it. Understand this. This sequence is always consistently the same. It doesn't change, right? This modified primary is in this sequence. So I don't want to put the end in the beginning and the beginning at the end. I want you to learn it this way, in this form, and in this sequence. Alright? It's really important that you understand that. There's a method to this madness, right? It's a template for all your vinyasas to come. So once we learn this basic foundation, you're doing vinyasas like you did yesterday at Debbie's studio. Alright? Here we go. We start off with 5 Surya Namaskar A. Sun salutation A. 5 times. We go into Surya Namaskar B. 5 times. Then we do a forward fold. Pada Angustasana. Pada Angustasana. We come out of that posture, and when we go back into another forward fold, Pada Hastasana. Pada Hastasana. Then with our right foot, we turn to the side, and we start a triangle series. The first triangle we do is Uttita Trikonasana, or extended triangle. Uttita Trikonasana, extended triangle. When we're done with right and left side, we will revolve that triangle, and the name is Parivrita Trikonasana. Parivrita Trikonasana, a revolved triangle. Then we do 2 side angles. Uttita Parsvo Konasana. Uttita Parsvo Konasana. Right and left. After we do right and left, we revolve that side angle for Parivrita Uttita Parsvo Konasana. Parivrita Uttita Parsvo Konasana. Then when we do right and left, we open out to the right again, folding forward for Prasarita Padottasana. Separate leg stretch. So we have 4 different variations of that. Prasarita Padottasana. After we do 4 separate leg stretches, we come back to the front of the mat. to start to engage in Parsvottasana. Parsvottasana. Intense side stretch or pyramid pose. So we always want to start stepping with the right foot back, right? So that right foot's always the lead leg. I'm always going to start with my right leg. So I step it back and I start my Parsvottasana. I bring it back to the front of the mat and I go to the left side. Again, Parsvottasana. When I'm done with both sides, I come back to the front of the mat to begin Uttita Hasta Pada Angustasana. I know that's a long one. Try it again. Uttita Hasta Pada Angustasana. Big toe extension. So remember I taught you a little modifications on that. We could just hold for the Bhujapidasana to hold that arm pressure. You can grab the big toe. You could also grab behind the knee. So start to work on that supporting leg. When we're finished with right and left side for Uttita Hasta Pada Angustasana, we begin Ardha Baddha Padmottasana. Ardha Baddha Padmottasana. Half bound standing lotus. Right? If you need a modification for this posture, we're doing tree. Now remember, in tree, you can put the foot on the ankle, the shin, or the top of the thigh. I never ever want to see you guys resting your knees, resting your foot on your knee in tree. It's not a very great place. Your knees are hinge joints. That's a dangerous place to put your foot. Okay? So when we're done with both sides of Ardha Baddha Padma or tree, we come into Utkatasana for 5 breaths. Utkatasana, 5 breaths. Fierce posture. Then I'll ask you to do a vinyasa. Right foot steps forward for Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Hold it for 5 breaths. Then we lift up into Warrior 2, 5 breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Then I ask you to do another vinyasa, and we do the same sequence on the left side. So, left foot steps forward for Virabhadrasana 1, 5 breaths. We up, open up for Virabhadrasana 2, 5 breaths. Vinyasa. From the downward dog, we're going to hop or walk or just sit into a seated posture on your mat. Here we begin the modified primary. What we just did before, we call it our standing sequence. It's a warm-up sequence. It's a long sequence, but it's really getting the body ready for what we're doing on the floor. Understanding that the primary sequence or a modified primary sequence is really going deep into openings of the body that we need for practices. The first posture in our modified primary on the floor is Dandasana. Dandasana. Now we always have an option. In between each of the seated postures in the modified primary or in a regular primary, we're usually doing a vinyasa. But you can opt out of a vinyasa, come into Navasana, or just opt out of it if you're not feeling well that day. So the choice is yours. The first posture is Dandasana, staff pose. The second posture, Paschimottasana. Paschimottasana, west stretch. The third pose, Pursvottasana. Pursvottasana, reverse plank or reverse table. And remember, we're doing vinyasas in between if you choose. The fourth posture on the floor is Janu Shriyasana. Janu Shriyasana. Head to knee posture. You do it right and left side. The fifth posture on the ground is Marichasana A. Marichasana A. It's a twist and it's named after the sage Marichi. So we do right side and left side. We have that option always for the vinyasa, or you can opt out. Then we do Marichasana C. Right and left. After the last Marichasana, we come into Navasana. Navasana. Boat posture. Now, we start in boat, and the challenge here is we're going to do five Navasana. So we're going to cross the feet at the ankles, jump back into Vinyasa, and then from that downward dog, come back into Navasana. And we repeat those cycles 5 times. If you're opting out of your Vinyasa, then you just lower the toes down to the ground, and then when everyone comes back into their Navasana, you lift up the shins back to the ceiling parallel. Okay? Yeah, it is challenging. So we do 5 Navasanas in that cycle. After the 5th Navasana, we come back to a seated posture, and it's called Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana. Seated bound angle, or cobbler's pose. Yes? After cobbler's pose, we start our back bending sequence. And this back bending sequence, I want you to remember, comes in threes. Yeah? So I can do 3 supported bridges with a block underneath my sacrum. I could do 3 half bridges, right, with my hands interlaced underneath me or grabbing a hold of my ankles. Or I could do 3 full wheels. I could do 1 of each. I could do 2 of one and 1 foot wheel. I could mix and match those 3 as I need to, right? So whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that it's in a group of 3 for the back bends. After we do our back bending sequence, we come into our inversion sequence. There is a contraindication to inversions that as a yoga instructor you need to understand. Pregnant women, women that are menstruating, people with high blood pressure, glaucoma, they're not going upside down, right? Now there's some pregnant women that will fight you to the end because they say that this is their practice, they know what they're doing. You take it with a grain of salt. But these contraindications you must say in every lesson you teach because we have to remind them, okay? Now, the first back bend, or the first inversion that we do is a Sarvangasana, or a shoulder stand. But what I like for you to do is ease them into it. I like to do Viparita, or all limbs up, and they could feel it from there, right? They're feeling their shoulders. If someone also, and this is another contraindication that I forgot to tell you about, if you have a shoulder injury or a cervical spine injury, you're definitely not doing any sort of shoulder stand or headstand, okay? You also want to start to fold the blanket the way I taught you on Sunday in a rectangle. We're placing the blanket right in the corner of your C7, all right? It's covering the top of your shoulders and probably about half of the back of your head. So the C7 is protected in that shoulder stand if you're going up in shoulder stand. So let's review that. So you got the blanket, you're getting a blanket ready. We're coming up into Viparita Karani, or all limbs up first. We're giving them the option. They could stay in all limbs up, or they could come up into their shoulder stand. If they're coming up into their shoulder stand, make sure that they are not moving their head from right to left, that their chin stays tucked into their chest. Try to lengthen the spine. Now, shoulder stand is difficult for a lot of people to understand it because they're upside down. And I'll teach you, we'll go through a whole clinic of shoulder stand and how to feel your body the way it should feel upside down. So guide them through this shoulder stand. Now, they could stay in shoulder stand. If they are an advanced student or an intermediate student, they're going to want to lower their legs over their head for halasana or plow. That's fine, right? If there's no contraindications going on with the neck and it feels good for them, there's no worries there. From halasana, we come into karnapidasana, which is bringing the knees close to the ears and letting your head pop out between the knees, right? Deaf man's posture or pressure on the ears, yeah? After they're done their rounds of breath in these postures, let them come out slowly and with control. The counterbalance to shoulder stand is Matsyasana, or fish, right? We want to take that blocking of the chin, and that lock, and that Jalarandha Harabandha lock. We want to release that lock in that fish posture. And it feels really good because everything's coming back to the top of the head. So make sure that if they're in a shoulder stand, that they're counterbalancing it with fish. Alright, so they've done an inversion already. Awesome. Now they're out of fish, they're relaxing on their mat, they're taking in the yoga, what's going on with the body, their created space, they're taking those beautiful deep breaths. Then you ask the question, would you like to come for a headstand or a handstand or another inversion? If you do, say yes, I need you to do a vinyasa right before we do that headstand, handstand, elbow stand, whatever stand we're doing. Okay, so shoulder stand, fish, vinyasa if they choose to go into another inversion. If they don't choose to go into another inversion, their savasana starts right there. Okay, so vinyasa, headstand, shirshasana, shirshasana. Now, there's some people that don't like to be on their head. There's some people that love to stay up on their head for 10 minutes. Make sure they understand from you that you're there to help them and that you're there to support them in headstand. That you take the fear out of it for them, okay? There's a wall. We could practice on the wall as well. After headstand, after they've taken their rounds of breath, and their time in their headstand, let them come out slowly and with grace, finding and connecting with their space, coming into balasana or child's pose. Let them stay in this posture as long as they need to reverse all of that upside downness, right? If we as teachers don't take that step and keep them in that headstand space, they could be loopy all day. They could have a headache, yada, yada, yada. You want to bring them back down to this place, all right? Balasana, child's pose. After they're in it for a couple of rounds of breath or however it is that they feel good, they're going to come up and sit up into hero. If hero is not comfortable for them, you know you're putting blankets or blocks underneath them. They're connecting with their breath. They're grounding themselves. They're feeling all the space that they created. We are opening them up to the most important posture in this modified primary series, which is savasana, corpse pose. Please, don't do 1-minute savasanas. Teach your student to be in a savasana for 5 minutes or longer. This is the place that the yoga really happens. Yeah? It's very difficult for some students in the beginning to do savasana because their mind is wandering. But this is the state that we need to have them in, is in that beautiful, quiet, silent space that all they're hearing is themselves. Yes? Well, I hope this little review helped you. Practice, 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 and all is coming. Sat Nam.